Please welcome Lea Becker, BMW Foundation, Herbert Quandt.
I'm here to introduce to you another superwoman. We've already today talked about Lapland and the Caribbean. She's really worldwide. But what makes her really special is that she has a lot of experience working in the chemistry industry. She worked for chem giants like BASF, and at some point she thought to herself, okay, something isn't really working out right. There's a high dependence on fossil fuels in the chemistry industry, and she has a deeply rooted love for the ocean. And she also saw two problems in the ocean: way too much plastic, fossil fuel based, and way too much invasive algae. So she said, how about we take that invasive algae and we make that part of the chemicals industry? And so she invented a patented biorefinery process and is now making really valuable compounds for the chemical industry made from invasive algae. And she's not only doing that, she is also giving back to communities. She is working with communities in the Caribbean, where she is also planning on building her first-of-a-kind production plant in 2026. So you're going to see her on this journey. Welcome, Mari, with Origin by Ocean.
Breaking the wall to healthy oceans. Mari Granström, Origin by Ocean.
So hi everyone, I don't have to pitch anymore. I think that was an amazing summary of what we do, but I will try my very best. So at Origin by Ocean, we are tackling three different types of systematic problems we are facing today. So one of them is the eutrophication of the oceans. So what happens when you have too much nutrients in the ocean? You start to see these massive seaweed blooms taking place. In this picture, you have the sargassum seaweed bloom. So every year in the Caribbean, we have around 40 to 50 million tons of sargassum blooming, and we want to use that as a feedstock. The second problem is that we have very high dependency of oil as a society. So what we want to do, we want to decouple that by using our biochemicals. Third one is the way we manufacture chemicals today in a current chemical industry. And we want to lead by example and show that the chemicals can be produced in a sustainable way, or they should be produced in a sustainable way. So we have developed a patented biorefinery technology capable of taking these invasive seaweed species in and turning them into high-value functional ingredients for consumer goods. So we have 100% utilization rate of the feedstock. So in this one process, we are producing 5 functional ingredients, but we are also valorizing the biomass residue as a cattle feed and as a fertilizer. So we are following a regenerative business model, which means that you have to leave a net positive impact behind. So our biorefinery is pure chemistry. No enzymes, no catalyst, and we are not using any harmful chemicals. It's an aqueous process. I always call it as an alchemy process. You have to know how your products work, and this gives you the power to design the process so that you don't have to have any harmful chemicals in there. So the total available market of our products is around $130 billion, from which $70 billion market is actually ready to switch from the current oil-based technology to the bio-based offering. $10 billion market is our sweet spot, and we want to take 15% of that by 2034. And that means that we will have the turnover around $1.5 billion. We have already secured offtakes with our customers, and we are already in the market. We have launched now 3 product lines with our customers, and we are super happy to see that even that we are B2B, the consumers understand that it makes a difference how you actually produce the products. So our vision is to expand our biorefineries using these invasive species so that by 2034, we will have the capacity around 200,000 tons generating this revenue around $1.5 billion. And it's very important that we don't actually have to do the same what the chemical industry is doing today, where they have to build massive size refineries in order to be profitable. Due to our very unique value creation model, we can actually have smaller biorefinery units. That means that we are okay to build 4,000 tons a year capacity feedstock in, and that gives us a flexibility to go to these so-called contaminated areas, which are normally small islands, and we can actually have an impact through that biorefinery on their economy and also the social aspect. As we are an impact startup, it's very important that while we are scaling up, of course, the technology, the biorefineries, the markets, and the turnover, we want to leave this net positive impact behind. And that's why we have put so much effort to follow the traces that we are leaving behind. So when we are removing these invasive species, we are also removing the phosphorus and nitrogen from the ocean, which is crucial. We are in a situation that we have to remove nutrients from the ocean. And at the same time, of course, everyone knows the LCA. We have to follow what is the net carbon footprint that we are leaving behind. So you can see that by 2034, we are minus 60,000 tons negative on that side as well. So we are a team of 27 experts today, covering the expertise from marine biology to chemistry to chemical engineering, all the way to the product development. And we are getting to raise our A round of 15 million euros so that we can build our first commercial site in Finland. In 27, it will be at full capacity, and we are creating 15 million euros turnover. So chemical industry can be regenerative. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see the questions ready to go already here, David and Manon. David, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That sounds great. I just felt that the ambition to 2034, 224,000 tons, it could sound a lot to some people, but we're talking about the chemicals industry, and that's not much, is it? I mean, why are you only doing small scale, really, rather than going big?
Well, the thing is that if you look at the investment needs, what you normally have in a chemical industry, coming from BASF, is that in order to get the profitability, and if you are in a bulk business, you are forced to do it, right? But we are in a specialty chemical business, so we don't actually have to go that high because we will hit the profitabilities anyway with the smaller units. And that's something that in a regeneration, when you look at the regeneration business model, it's a very different business model if you want to be there where the contamination is, so to speak.
Okay, next question. Manon, please.
Is there actually a real IP behind it and
Yes.
in the technology? That's the first question. And secondly, how do you collect at the end the algae from the sea? How does this work in a cost-efficient way?
Yes, so we don't do any harvesting because harvesting business is already existing. We just don't know that in Europe. But in the Caribbean, where you have this 40, 50 million tons of sargassum, they have to have it because otherwise they wouldn't have economy and the tourism. We do the same in Europe. So it's a cost efficient, of course, otherwise we couldn't do it. The first question, yes, we have patent for the whole biorefinery. Coming from the industry, I don't believe in a process patents because then they are public and everyone knows how to do it. So you have to have a lot of trade secrets as well, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you have protection for your overall process.
Okay, next question is by Michael here.
Great, thanks a lot. One question on probably the very high logistics costs in your business, because it looked to me like you have a massive production network, and obviously your raw materials are pretty widely spread. So how do you bring the product then to the end customer, and what does it do to your footprint, to your carbon footprint?
Yeah, so we do the LCA, of course, over the whole value chain. So in the chemical industry, it's the same thing. Our products are powders. So chemical industry is global. So I'm always using this term that what you can do with the small biorefineries is go from local to global. And that's the key in a chemical industry. So we are not shipping like, liquids around the world, but we are shipping powders. So it's like we are getting bananas and mangoes from South America. No one is questioning that, right? So the logistics, that's peanuts. And when it comes to the seaweed, you have to be there where you have the biomass. That's the whole bioeconomy shift, is that, like, if you look at the chemical industry today, they are taking naphtha around the world, and that's liquid. And no one is questioning that, right? Because we are so used to it. But in a seaweed business, you have to be there, of course, where the problem is. And that's what we want to do.
Okay, next question by Pavel, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mari. So if I understand it correctly, sargassum is landing seasonally in Caribbean islands, right? And if that's correct, then what will it do to your to the capacity utilization, basically, and you know how that works then economically with the low capex.
Yes.
Utilization.
So if we look at the biomass in general in this world, it's always seasonal. So that's no news. In Sargassum case, we have 7 months of blooming in the Caribbean, and we have developed a way to store it. So that's what we have. We have terminals where we store the Sargassum. So it's very important in a biomass that you always have, you know, your de-risking, that you have to be able to store it. Well, that's why we have the IP, how to store it. Yeah.
Okay, and I think we're done with the questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.